Next up on the Cosmic News Network, First Contact with Joshua Pert.
Good morning, Earthlings. Good. How you doing today? Good. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Welcome to First Contact Radio. To talk about all these things I'm talking about is because in life, everything is energy. Every single thing that's out there.
Yo, it's First Contact with Joshua Poet. He's the man on the mic, just in case you didn't know it. Covering news from all around the globe, from the weather and space to UFOs. He'll talk politics and make you open your eyes. Conspiracy theories and government lies. They'll dig it all up and try to find the proof. Cause it's time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have
time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We
It's
have
time
arrived.
to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio.
It's time to demand
First
the
Contact
truth.
Radio. We have arrived.
Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Well, we've made it to the first Friday of the year, January 3rd, 2014. You might probably still be used to writing 2013. So we got to get used to the change here. 2014 is upon us. Today we, just like yesterday, have a sun sign in Capricorn and a moon sign in Aquarius. So we have Earth and air are the two symbols or the two energies that we're working with. Earth is form, the physical things. So the outside world we're dealing with, our conscious mind is dealing with the idea of form, the physical world around us. But we are taught to look past the illusion of the physical world, because the physical world is only the physical world. We want to see behind it, to the fire, the water, the air, the things that make up the physical world, the ideas, the emotions, and the words and the actions. And underneath we have the Aquarius. The mind is working on these new ideals, these Aquarian attitudes, things that we think of as futuristic ideas. That's what we've got going on underneath, okay? So we have the words and the actions underneath, stimulating the conscious mind of the Capricorn to endure, to charge forward, to deal with the physical, to realize that there's more behind the physical. Tonight we do have a square to deal with between Saturn and the moon sign, which is Capricorn or Aquarius. So Aquarius, our mind, and our disciplinarian side of ourself, Saturn, are going to kind of run into each other. So we need to discipline the mind a little bit, and that's what we're going to find later today. What is that challenge about? I don't know. When we arrive, we'll find out, because each one of us is affected a little bit differently. But nonetheless, it's a challenge dealing with Aquarius and Saturn. The moon phase for today is 77% full, making its way up to a full moon. We're just getting started. The Mayan Oracle are on a 13-tone day, so we're the jumping day. After this long 13-day wave spell of the Skywalker. So today we're taking that life force energy and we're jumping off to the next wave spell, which will be in succession. So the next one after this symbol here, the serpent, would be symbol number 6, which is the World Bridger. So the next wave spell is the wave spell of the World Bridger. That's where we're going to get started over the weekend, learning the lessons of life and death. Here we're taking our survival instinct, all that we've learned through our exploration, and we're going to jump. Cosmic tone 13, that's the jumping tone, because it goes from one wave spell to the next. We have the serpent guided by the moon. So the phrase for today is, I endure in order to survive, transcending instinct. I seal the store of life force with the cosmic tone of presence. I'm guided by the power of universal water. Over at Spaceweather, our solar wind is slowed a little bit from yesterday. It's now only 494 kilometers per second. Planetary K index is in the stormy area, 3 to 5. We're probably getting hit by this wind from this corona hole that was in the middle right here over the last couple days. You can see it's moving off now to the right, moving away, and seems to be getting smaller as it goes. M-class flare possibilities up to 75, X-class to 30, and geomagnetic storm activities seems to be relatively low and dropping from what it was yesterday. A little more insight on what's going on with some of these environmental and worldly weather issues. This is Suspicious Observer's report for today.
Good morning, folks. We're going to start today on NASA's JPL orbital diagram for Ceres 1. It's the largest asteroid belt body, allowing us to track the biggest objects in the system here. And a good deal of them are lining up in geocentric and heliocentric conjunctions right now. I'm now going to drop the ISON trajectory over that. Not that there is much of anything left, but that was never the main point of ISON, especially because anything left now is 45 million miles north of our North Pole. And recall that I said the best chance for seeing ISON-related meteors was January 15th, when we crossed the incoming trajectory, but that there was a minute chance that ISON crashed into or perturbed some smaller rocks on its way through the asteroid belt, and that if there would be more than just that light dusting on the 15th, made for a pretty show, it would have to be around the days before the 15th, and potentially from the night side where ISON's incoming trajectory came in relevant to Earth's position. As you imagine where the planets are at this moment, I want you to also remember that the moon was new 2 days ago, and so if we looked from behind, it would be swinging left towards Mercury. This is us zooming in behind the Earth, with ISON's incoming trajectory behind us, where one would guess those meteors would come rather than the day-side impacts of any debris that happened to circle the sun. Just so happens that a night-side asteroid became a meteor last night. The timing for when we said to look for ISON debris back there is likely just a coincidence, as rocks hit our atmosphere every day, but that's a really fun coincidence. Got a great video and article linked about Phobos and the recent ESA flyby. Monolith fans, I was excited as you are, but there's no mention of the potential alien building. I'd like to say that first, I'm glad the climate scientists who got stuck in the ice trying to prove global warming are alright. Now, Chris Turney, their leader, you gotta decide what to make of your heating-only propaganda. We all know methane is way worse for the atmosphere than CO2. Channel vets know the major hydrate reports at the ocean floor and the troubling releases are coming in spades. This paper proves that the methane upticks are a natural process, not exacerbated by anything human-driven. Systems converging, dropping major snow. It's about 4 to 6 inches outside my home, and I believe those east of me are getting it a lot worse, with some areas more than double my high estimate for what's sitting out on my deck. It is being pushed offshore at the moment by a strong clockwise pushing high pressure system. It's moving to the east. Let's come to the global wind map and see the next storm crossing the Pacific. We'll eye this one incoming. Anyone from Australia willing to weather share the temperature changes from the last few days given this southern chill sweeping in now? Looking now at Africa and Madagascar, where precipitation totals from the cyclone and shear are pretty telling of the breadth of the storm, now set to depart. Another low cresting Europe? Nah. But seriously, folks, the storm surge and flood warnings went out hours ago. Please pay attention to the high winds as well. Let's kick it to space weather. Took 2 gamma bursts last night, from Virgo and from the Boots constellation. Solar flaring has died down a skosh. The departing spots appear to retain their complexity as they turn for the limb, and if they do manage to pop again on departure, there's a good chance for polar radiation storms with Earth's magnetic connection to the Sun almost perfectly on those spots. Incoming monsters, no big flaring just yet. We see deep umbral cores and strong magnetic power. It would strain credulity to imagine this sans a Delta class, and will be remembered as one of the biggest spots of the cycle even if she goes to sleep. Solar wind speed is dropping. Coronal hole stream may be ending now. The geomagnetic instability is fading as well, and thankfully, so is the electron flux. 36 hours we saw 500 to 5,000 times increase in near-Earth energy, depending on how powerful of an electron you were looking for. Add that space energy, planetary positions, to the coronal hole situation. The hole appeared to be over, especially with the field closure, but the opening actually spans across the disk and may be popping back open. The red incomers north and south represent the ending stage for this extended watch to start the year. The southern opening is of moderate power, but the northern hole is of major power. Swinging in now on the top left, visibly darker. Watch score today is B+. Shots of our star close. Eyes open. No fear, it's 6:15 a.m. Eastern Time, and that's the news. Be safe, everyone.
Alright. There you go. That's what to expect as you're out and about. Alright. Next up, let's look at Comet ISON. We had a little mention of Comet ISON just a moment ago by Suspicious Observer's report. But this is Thor News. We heard from Thor News earlier in the week. Let's check out what's going on here with ISON. Alright, here we go.
This is a Thor News presentation. Thor News presents Comet C2012 S1 ISON and WTF NASA. Seriously, bro.
Part 23. All hands on deck. Deep impact up next.
And we got a fat flying V in the sun. We love the V.
Okay, let's go. All hands on deck. That's right. They liked it and they wanted it so much they put every single camera they could find on it. Under the banner of a coordinated observing program called NASA Comet ISON Observing Campaign, or NCIOC, dozens of observatories on the ground, in space, and even on sounding rockets and high-altitude balloons will watch the comet progress towards the sun this fall. International workshop to coordinate observation. It was held at the Johns Hopkins University Applied Physics Lab in Maryland. Team members from several interplanetary missions joined colleagues, kind of like astonishers. That's what a colleague is. Ground, balloon, plane, rocket, orbit-based telescopes to help. I'm sure Sophia, the big telescope that's flying around in a plane by the South Pole, looking at gosh knows what. Sophia Loren was hot. And we are all waiting for ISON to return to sight from behind the sun's glare, and for Comet ISON to hit the frost line. That's supposed to be something special. The frost line, also known as the snow line or ice line, refers to a particular distance in the solar nebula from the central proto-sun. The term is borrowed from the notion of frost line in soil science. No. Soil science sounds dirty. Sophia. And so after ISON crosses the frost line, which is somewhere between Mars and Jupiter, it'll light up like a match. Or no, that's not a good analogy. It'll get all magnitudier. Man, this story only gets more and more interesting. Don't you agree? When will ISON return to sight and visibility? Nobody knows. But could be any time between now and the end of August. No one knows. There are a lot of educated guesses though, but we won't know until ISON shows her face. The Deep Impact spacecraft should be able to see it now. When we will get the data from the Deep Impact spacecraft, I can't tell you. Why someone named it Deep Impact? They got a funny sense of humor, man. I have noted before, they have weird motivations when they name stuff. Right? Deep Impact. I've had a funny Jedi spider sense tingly funny feeling that this comet would be very special. And having NASA, the ESA, and all of science try and put every resource on ISON makes me feel like I was right all along. Yes, it does. And watch out, ego will get you. Or me. See, I think we all believe that this comet could be deep space magic, baby. And we got a fat flying V in the sun. We love the V. And on that note, let us take a look at the sun and the smaller version of our flying V. Now, in the last few ISON videos, I have noted that there is a strange flying V shape in the sun with a head and a tail in three-dimensional fashion. And it used to be the same shape. Now it's kind of changed shape, but it's still got the V. It's still interesting, party people. What will happen to Comet ISON is an open question to scientists who hope to learn more about what causes certain comets to flare brightly and others to fizzle and evaporate. See, science admits the dirty snowball theory is just a theory. We don't have anything directly to compare ISON to, said astronomer Matt Knight. Or like as Daniel Fisher pointed out in his excellent article on interplanetary eyes on the lookout for Comet ISON on the planetary.org blogs, survival is not guaranteed either. Whoa, this sounds pretty doomy, man. Whoa, wait, I skipped a line. Survival of the tiny nucleus, less than 4 kilometers in diameter, according to the best Hubble imagers. What's that supposed to mean? Survival is not guaranteed that close to the sun either. Not only the solar heat, but even tidal forces will uneasily close to destructive. What? Not only the solar heat, but even tidal forces will be uneasily close to destructive. Oh, is that sentence correct? Or is that code? What? For that reason, plans of another emergency workshop or video conference in December were already mulled at the August meeting so that ISON's campaign could react promptly to the comet's fate. What? Sounds pretty doomy. An emergency workshop? Solar heat, tidal forces. That's a lot of telescopes. That's a lot of cameras. That's a lot of resources. That's a lot of manpower. That looks like a big fat flying V. Don't fear the V? The V is good. And she is still hiding her face behind the sun. The whole waiting for ISON to come back from behind the sun is pretty exciting. And at the NCIC conference, workshop. There were some lovely ladies there. You guys, you scientists are some lucky guys. Okay, great. I think the whole figuring out how fast comets travel is cool. And who knows, maybe it's going a little faster, maybe it's going a little slower. Consolidated timeline. But come September, the ISON campaign will take off literally. Even as a balloon and a rocket launches are in preparation, and numerous astronomical satellites will be called to duty, in addition to ground-based telescopes and amateur astronomers invited to contribute to specific projects. This comet has moved into the crosshairs of science, not so much because of its potential, but not in any way guaranteed, coming great brightness and impressive tale. ISON's behavior in the past year has been puzzling. As a stupendously flat light curve in the first half of 2013, interpretations at the workshop varied widely and ranged from a mostly dry dust ball, soon to crumble, to an ice-rich body that already underwent a prolonged outburst, just fading back to normal. Survival of the tiny nucleus, less than 4 kilometers in diameter, according to the best Hubble images, is not guaranteed either. You got solar heat and tidal forces, destructive. Next in line after the deep impact is the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, MRO, or I guess you could switch the letters around to be more. So while both HiRISE and the infrared instrument XRISM will be used during the comet's approach, a lot of guessing is involved in planning the exposures. Therefore, the MOR team is happy to join Deep Impact on August 20th for some early remote observations of ISON. This will translate into a poor resolution of HiRISE on the comet of 150 kilometers per pixel. The signal-to-noise ratio won't be great. XRISM might not see anything at all. But still, both instrument teams are happy for this opportunity of a little trial run. Whoa, is that foreshadowing? So we got MOR, we got ROM, XRISM, HiRISE. Sweet. Cool names. The planned use of the HiRISE camera on the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter for imaging Comet ISON as it approaches and hurries closely past Mars is not unprecedented. While optimized for scanning the Martian surface, a brightly highlight contrast target, the 50-centimeter telescope can also be used as an improvised astronomical telescope. Bubba, you barking with me? That's cool. A quite convincing portrait of Earth. Convincing? That's a weird word. The complex interplay of ISON's motion along its orbits and the fast movement in the low orbit ruined all attempts to stack the exposures through 2 filters to make it something presentable. The black and white image of ISON with the least trailing was pasted in gray, resulting in a hybrid black and white comet and color sky image that continues to confuse. Well, data confusing. 111 days till ISON reaches perihelion. Now I'm talking about nothing. I've over-edited myself into a wall, and there ain't nobody wants to proceed to meteor shower with but dogs. Why must you be cruel? Why? Dang it.
Soil science sounds dirty.
You know, that big infrared telescope that's flying around a big old plane by the South Pole. Sophia. ISON returns.
And we got a fat flying V in the sun. We love the V. Deep space magic, baby.
There is so much data in the data. Do you know what I'm saying? And it continues to get more fascinating as it goes. So yeah, NASA, all hands on deck in this thing. All eyes to the sky. So in summary, we've still got a flying V. We got all hands on deck, all resources, all cameras, all telescopes, all satellites. Professionally, we have satellite Deep Impact up next to see it. Should be seeing it now. When they give us data, I have no idea. And when will the Earth-based amateur astronomers see it? I don't know. There's even a countdown over at GLP for ISON. You gotta watch out for Dr. Astromutt. That guy is a doom junkie. And astonishers, if they could do a workshop, we could do one too, I think, right? If you're new, subscribe to me on the YouTube, and you can always talk to us at the Facebooker or on the Twittery tweet. Though I don't get on the Twitter that much. For some reason, it always makes me feel weird. And I'm really horrible. I'm the horriblest, worstest at Twitter flirting. Stay cool. I really poured all the maple syrup and butter into this one. I hope you liked it. There you go. A sweet treat from your main man T. You're welcome now. I gotta go. Yeah, baby, now. Yeah, well, it's been fun, and I still have shit tons to talk about. Yeah, that's true. But I gotta go enjoy this Saturday, so I gotta pull the plug somewhere. So I'll see you guys soon. Me getting a good date for the crap, whatever, stupid love life.
There we go. All right. So that was Thor News. Little update on what was going on. As you know, it went through perihelion now. And the reason I wanted to show you is ISON's not really out of mind yet, because this upcoming week is the time when, if we're going to cross through its debris field, we might be experiencing something now. I believe up to the 14th was the time when we'd be crossing through. So we want to keep looking up at the sky. Maybe we'll see some interesting objects up there. Maybe we won't. Time will tell, but that's what's going on with that. UFO news is up next, so stay tuned.
This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
All right, Dirk. Thank you very much. Today I have 5 stories. Story number 1 comes to us from the 1st of January. This was the report. There were a lot of orbs that were seen around California. I personally didn't see any. I was looking, but saw nothing. On New Year's Eve, many people across the state of California witnessed strange lights and craft in the sky. Witnesses in Auburn, California, saw a large egg-shaped object with a bright light slowly cruising across the sky before suddenly accelerating at a high rate of speed. Other witnesses in the Sacramento area saw bright lights in a triangular formation. The same orb triangle UFOs were also witnessed in Los Angeles the very same night. So here's a little compilation of where these were. And you can see a little bit of the objects here. There you go. So we've got some interesting shots here. Okay, and you see the reporters talking about it. All right, moving on. Now we have Mexico, and we have a cube, black cube. There's the cube. Coacalo de Berazabel in Mexico. This mysterious cube-like UFO was seen over Mexico a few days ago. I added light to the screenshot to try to make it more visible. Perhaps it's a drone, but one of ours or theirs? Good question indeed. Let's see if we have the image right here. There's the cube right there. Pretty fascinating. Good shot, definitely. But what is this? Alright. Something to check out. The link's available, firstcontactradio.com. Alright, now we're going to go over to San Diego, California. This was on the 30th. 3 videos, 3 of a strange lights in the triangular formation, recorded by separate witnesses. This was on Monday in San Diego. Right, there's the 3 objects right there. They seem to be moving at a pretty good speed, or at least the vehicle is. And maybe that's just stationary. A little zoom in. It does look like it's moving. Very interesting indeed. Alright, let's check it out. That was in San Diego. All right, a couple articles here from UFO Digest. First one by Nick Redfern. Did ET spies break into English space facility? Well, that's a good question. Now and again, a story comes along that's just about as bizarre as fascinating. And the following one definitely falls into both categories. It's one that might dismiss out of hand. Others of a more open mind, however, might ponder on the possibility that the case in question is just the tip of the big iceberg. And with that said, read on. The date was 1974, and the setting, the Marconi Space Defense Facility at Fernley, England. At the time, the witness was employed as a draftswoman in the Central Services Branch, having previously served an apprenticeship in a division of the British Royal Navy, something which ensured that she had access to much of the establishment. On arriving at work one particular morning, she was surprised to see an inordinate number of Ministry of Defense personnel swarming around one specific building which had been cordoned off. Although she was aware that something of deep significance had occurred, it was not until later she was able to tackle a trusted colleague, who himself a manager at the base. Something very serious has happened, hasn't it? She inquired. Yes, was the quiet response. We've had a break-in. I can't say any more. Over the course of several weeks, however, further pieces of the puzzle fell into place. It transpired that the break-in was far more than simply an unauthorized entry. What occurred was nothing short of a penetration of a highly sensitive facility by a living and breathing extraterrestrial creature. I was cautiously advised that the incident had occurred late at night, and that the solitary witness was a security guard who had been patrolling the building as part of his routine duty. While walking along the corridor, the guard was startled by a dazzling blue light that emanated from one particular room. But this was no ordinary room. It was a storage facility for the top-secret documentation generated by Marconi as part of its work on behalf of the British government and the Ministry of Defense, much of what was related to classified radar-based programs. Realizing that no one at all should have been in that area at that time of the night, the guard burst into the room only to be confronted by a shocking sight. They are literally sifting through pages and pages of top-secret files was a grade-skinned humanoid, but decidedly not human. A creature which quickly dematerialized before the shocked guard's eyes. Although severely traumatized by the event, he was able to provide a brief description of the being to his superiors, and he noted that the blue light emanated from a helmet which encompassed the head of the entity. Alright, more to the story for you to check it out. Pretty cool. Next, ZETA craft and their propulsion system. This also comes from UFO Digest. For many years now, this is William C. Trinite and Paul Hamden. For many years now, certain people all over the world have seen things moving in the sky and that they cannot and others cannot explain. We appropriately call them unidentified flying objects, or UFOs. A typical shape of these objects is like a saucer and an inverted saucer attached together at the rims, and these have also been called flying saucers. The flight characteristics of the objects often exceed those human-designed craft, so they are thought by many to have an extraterrestrial origin. Some light has been shed on the properties of crafts in conversations with extraterrestrials we call the Zeta race. Several beings of this race have communicated much information to us via the medium Paul Hamden. Most of the information specific to this craft was published in a book authored by the medium. The nature of the craft and its propulsion system is addressed in the article. The Zetas are physical beings who live in a physical environment, but they also have the ability to extend their abilities to non-physical, energetic environment where different laws of nature apply. The energetic realm holds templates, also known as etheric bodies, that define the properties of associated forms in the physical universe. In these non-physical realms, consciousness has the ability to create with thoughts. A model of how this is done is outlined in his book, A Primer of the Zeta Race. In the chapter Creation and Consciousness, understanding the chapter is highly recommended since the creation process is used by the craft's propulsion system described below. Alright, more to the article, and I'm going to leave it there. Got more news and information coming up, so stay tuned. I'll be back.
Come into our circle, Great Spirit. Fill our souls with peace. Oh, oh, oh,
I'm back. Alright, so we're going to go into, we're going to skip the whole what's going on, crazy stuff in the world for today. Let's jump over here. This is all about positive affirmations, the only 100 positive affirmations you will ever need. So it's a nice list for you. It says, why are these simple messages of truth that can change our lives so hidden in the culture and environment that raises us? Do affirmations even work? Why do we have to discover these affirmations by accident and feel like we have found a new gold mine, whereas almost all of it's found in ancient messages that still hold true? I grew up with a lot of love, and I mean a lot of love from my parents, my relatives, my grandparents, my childhood friends. All of these are irreplaceable affections in their own right, but the love was often overshadowed with a lot of fear, shame, and guilt imposed by our guardians and authority. I don't mean fear, shame, and guilt for wrongdoing, but for doing anything that was not the norm itself being anything but normal or sensible. The overflow of affection in our culture cannot be matched. I admit it is, but it is rarely about teaching a child to be positive and confident in life, or about believing in their own abilities to make smart choices or to follow a dream. It is about making sure they follow the rules, with obedience always being the measuring stick above all things. For those of you who didn't grow up being told just how unique and how special you are, how capable you are of being everything you want to become, how normal it is to have dreams outside of the norm, and how much you matter to this world, this blog post is for you, darling, sealed with much love. Affirmations are a guided path to inner peace and joy and happiness. Use them daily and you'll see results in no time. If you want to be a renegade in your life, a positive, fierce, proud, and happy renegade without shame, learn to be confident first. Alright, and here's a bunch of really good affirmations. Got affirmations when you get lonely. I love and approve of myself. I feel the presence of those who aren't physically here. Here are 100 positive affirmations to carry you through life. Where did I get these? I have read the work of Louise and adore her to pieces, and I have a few of her phrases of words, but they are mostly altered to fit my own language. She is truly my source of inspiration, that much I admit openly. However, just as Louise recommends, I wanted to put together my own affirmations for you and to encourage you to use them as they are, or feel to change the wording or even further adopt them as yours. You may laugh, you may sneer, you may not believe a word of these affirmations, but if my engineering, logic-oriented mind can come around to believing them, and you can and then see them in action and watch them bring happiness to my life and profit in my business, I have high hopes that it can help you too. Affirmations work best in the present tense, just as you see below, and when you say them consciously and preferably loudly, if the circumstance permits. Also, it helps to adopt a positive believing as well as a positive thinking as you embrace these words and situations in your life. So here we have categories: when you feel lonely and sad, when you feel terrified, when you feel insignificant, when you're nervous, when you're angry, when you're hopeless and feel at the end of your rope, when you feel conflicted about a decision, when you're among friends, when you're around strangers, when you're at work, when you can't sleep, when you don't want to face today, but if this day were to bring me greater joy, when you worry about your future, I let go of my fears, worries that drain my energy and no good return. When you can't get loved ones to support your dreams, I follow my dreams no matter what. When you come face to face with your problem, I am safe and sound. So you go through the whole bunch more here, okay? A lot of these, and some more affirmations when you get out of bed. So, good resource right here. Very good resource for going through and really incorporating this positiveness in your life. Alright, so check out that link. But wait, there's more. This one is also affirmations. This is from self-help-and-self-development.com. So self-help and development with dashes between each word. Affirmations are simply any positive or negative statements that we make as we go through life. They can be neutral, natural automatic statements or statements made on purpose. Does it include all works and statements that we make during our lifetime? Yes and no. Statements related to some aspect of the past, present, or future are considered as affirmations, and other utterances, which we call miscellaneous statements, do not be considered. Okay? It says, for example, let's go for a walk. How are you? I may be late for dinner tonight. And miscellaneous statements. Examples of affirmations are these. Oh, what a beautiful morning. What a gorgeous car. All new movies are boring. There's always a traffic jam in the morning. These are affirmations, but not necessarily in the positive. It says these are natural statements that are boring, bring out true feelings as we go. And affirmations are every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. I'm losing weight every day without effort till I reach my ideal weight. So you can see there's a difference here. One is making a statement, more of an observational statement, and then the other is actually affirming how one is making their way in the observations around them. Does that make sense? It says these are statements of intent. Through these statements, we express our desire of how we want our life to be. And then you go through and there's categories, all different categories, and all you do is click on one and it's got lots of good affirmations for you there. Okay? So that's another good one. And then here's one more. You just heard the name Louise Hay mentioned a minute ago. So here's her website, louisehay.com, and she has these daily affirmations. I radiate success and I prosper wherever I turn. This is the affirmation for today. So you might want to keep this handy so you can just check it out. Let's see what yesterday's was. I'm very good at giving encouragement and compliments to others. So again, another good resource to keep available, because these are all good ways to keep ourselves focused in the right direction. How many times, like if you turn on the news, you certainly don't hear them giving you positive affirmations to keep you focused. They want you to be afraid of all of their crappy stories, basically. All right, this here is called Galactic Call to Arms. Calling all light workers, warriors, lighthouses, and grounders. The time is finally upon us. We need to spring into action. This is the time we've all been waiting for. It is time to suit up to perform the greatest feat ever in our universe. We have heard these words before, and we have all shown up to hear them once again. This time our suit of armor is our power to stand together as one and to voice our manifestation intention to bring the new earth into our reality. Before now, light workers have varied roles in preparation for 2014. Some have been warriors of the truth, exposing and fighting the government lies, false flag attacks, and depopulation agendas. Some have been great bearers of light, standing tall like lighthouses, attracting those who choose to awaken in order to help them grow in their own light within. Some have focused on grounding the healing energies coming from the great central sun of Alcyone into the planet in the grid system. Some of us has worked on a little of everything. All of us have been so passionate about what we are doing that we have been focused on what we thought was right, and it has sometimes caused rift between us as to where the focus the most should be. Light warriors relentlessly uncovered and exposed horrible things happening on this planet, continuously focusing on death and destruction. Some of them got a little frustrated, and other light workers who just felt they weren't doing enough exposing and focusing on the darkness. Some of the lighthouses faulted the warriors for focusing too much on what we do not want to see in this planet. The grounders got lost in nature and bliss, not caring what the warriors and the light workers were doing, for it felt so good to be home. All groups of light workers are needed to get us to where we are now. One group is not any more important than the other. The planet has been run for thousands of years by a group of fallen Anunnaki. We will call them Fallen A's. That they have wanted to control planet Earth in order to keep it for themselves. The big difference is that the Fallen A's in control and the light workers in human form is the Fallen A's work together as a group with one single goal in mind: complete service to self-control of the planet via mind control, chemical weapons, financial monitoring, depopulation. We now see how the light workers who have been divided, and most of the division was caused by the New Age disinformation propaganda and paid shills who tried to discredit everything that would bring us together. For the past several years, tricksters have made their way into channeled messages to bring that one bit of misinformation that would make us all begin to discredit and question what is really happening. This includes the timeline agenda of 2012 and any timeline agenda after that, for the events will happen when we make it happen. Many light workers were interfered with using off-world technology that affected our brains and our physical bodies in general. We all have a higher aspect of ourselves somewhere out there in spaceships on another planet or sitting in the universe shining brightly as a star. Our souls are too big to move down into third-dimensional denseness. It is too compact, so we have had to send sparks of ourselves. We have a soul family in the macrocosm, which is reflected in the macrocosm here on the planet as incarnated humans. We also have spirit guides and angels with us from our soul family, helping us along this difficult path. We have aspects from our monad that are from the past and the future, that are being healed and are emerging with us in the now here on this planet in our physical bodies. The army is immense, and we have all been trying to figure out what we are supposed to do to end up this battle with this compassionate fallen A's once and for all. It is time to unite all aspects of ourselves and to call upon our galactic family to spring into action. The term, "we are the ones we have been waiting for," may have been a little confusing in the past. It seems to infer that as multidimensional beings incarnated into human form, that human will be the one once and for all to bring the fallen angels down through the peaceful protest and through peaceful non-compliance. Well, this is partly true. We haven't seen the big shift yet as how we can truly stop adhering to the government control and the guidelines, since they control every aspect of living. Many have tried to start new financial systems that will break free of the shackles and cause financial collapse in the U.S. However, it seems to keep running on thin air. We've all been waiting for one big thing to occur that will allow us to stand in our power in order to take back our freedom. People of planet Earth, we cannot take down this fallen A government and financial tyrannist sect just as humans. We must merge with our higher existence. Thus the term ascension was coined, and we have been doing our work to prepare ourselves for the shifts in vibration that we have been experiencing. So to further explain the term, "we are the ones we've been waiting for," we must understand that we have to call on our galactic family, our space brothers and sisters, the ascended masters, the aspects of the monads in the past and the future, our spirit guides and angels, or whatever terms we use for our higher beings and the oneness. They are all us. We are all of them. They are potentially waiting on us to do this because they can only interfere in a certain point in keeping with universal law in order to keep the planet from being blown up without our free will request for assistance. We incarnate into physical form to be able to use our free will to voice our desire to end the tyranny and control of this planet. That is what we have come here to do and what we can accomplish this in 2014. And then it goes on and talks all about the energies that are coming our way. So all things that we've talked about and very well aware. More to the article. I'm going to leave it for you to read. And this one is another piece that kind of talks along the same ideas. As a medical, intuitive, vibrational healer of 32 years, I can confirm the statement that to change the world, we must first change ourselves. We couldn't be in a better time in this world to do so. The complements of the universe are very powerful and affect all of us. When our solar system has active changes, you can bet we do too. Our sun has just completed an 11-year cycle of a solar flip. This happened in the week of Christmas and right after Comet ISON circled the sun, and had scientists very excited and rooting for its life as it came out briefly before disintegrating. The sun's flip is stirring up the electromagnetic field, and we on Earth feel the effects like chaos, forgetfulness, not able to think the way we used to, etc. However, this is not a negative effect. It is, in my opinion, the offering of the hand of God to help us release the old thought forms and to keep us from peace. We've also new moon on January 1st, which hasn't happened in 300 years. That is always significant in new beginnings. As humanity has given these universal gifts from the heavens, we are now at this time where we can recognize that the emptying of the old now creates space for recreation. In healing work, we find that our memories that are actually keeping us from healing is the attachment of ingrained cellular memories produced by traumas or even words we heard as a child that stuck in our memory bank. At the age of 6, children learn how to survive so as to fit in or not to be hurt emotionally in their families, their friendships, etc. Naturally, we come into this world trusting and open until we have to make the conscious decision as little adults within our emotions and our experiences. Now, however, with these changes upon us, we are at a beautiful time when survival can be a thing of the past, realizing we are important co-creators by our individual thoughts. The more we allow and trust ourselves, the more we contribute to this universal freedom and alignment. At this point, we naturally release the old patterns that no longer serve us. This is ascension. Your mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies become a physical. The light and joy of the new perceptions in your thoughts light each cell in your body. The process of ascension leads us here to our genuine and authentic self with nothing to hide. We call this being Pono in Hawaiian culture, true to self. Here, there is no judgment and no discernment. Coming from the sacred soul within each of us, we find it is easier to love, to understand and connect by recognition of seeing truths in each other. This beauty of ascension empowers all of us to be ourselves in these most magical, exciting times. Here's to all of us in our co-creative freedom, rising in humanity in 2014 and beyond. Many blessings to each of you. Okay, and that was our Mona Delfino wrote this. So very nice piece. So that's kind of the whole point, I believe, of where we're at. You know, we could keep going on and we can keep looking at all of the negative things that are in the world. We could talk about all the fear stories that they have. But what's the point? Because the point seems to be that we need to get out of that place, drop those shackles of fear, and move into the next place. Allow this new world to be part of our experience. And as such, change with it. Positive change. So I'm all for that. I think it's time. I think we've come to this point, and we certainly have enough signs pointing that way. So that's the reason for all the positivity and positive messages, so that we can just think that way. All right? Let the news, let all them keep the negative stuff, because I guarantee you, you can turn the TV on anytime, listen to the news, and they'll have something negative to tell you. And it's kind of weird how they do that. You know, they'll tell you about a mass murder, and then they'll go and then they'll have someone singing a Christmas carol. It's like, well, it's just playing on people's emotions. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, here's Archangel Metatron. This is an affirmation message. Here we go.
May all exist in and experience the love of the Creator. I call upon the Creator, my guides and loved ones upon the inner planes to surround me in your loving support and protection. I call upon all aspects of my soul to become consciously aware. I ask that I, as an aspect of my soul and soul group, am appropriately and divinely consciously connected with all other aspects of my soul and soul group. With a network of energy and unity flowing between us, we call forth the Creator to simultaneously embrace each aspect of my soul and soul group for a deep and profound experience of love, the love of the Creator. As we vibrate in and as love, let the same love that all aspects of my soul and soul group experience permeate all manifestations of my soul in all lifetimes, past, present, and future. With the love of the Creator growing, a divine flow of the Creator and current of love erupts, sending fusions of supreme love to all aspects of my soul. A deep unity of love is now experienced. As a result of this, my entire being is revitalized with supreme and divine vibrations of love, while shifts and alterations aligned to love occur within all energetic levels of love. In and with the present of my soul merging and higher aspects being born within my being, I allow all deep-settled unneeded, negative, or dark energy to merge with ease, understanding and awareness in order for me to experience true freedom from the past and the past consciousness of humanity. I am aware of the deep healing process I am moving through and choose to exist in profound love eternally and in every present moment. I am now in the presence of my soul. I honor and love my soul unconditionally. I am that I am the soul that I am.
Very nice affirmation there from Gail. All right then, here we go. From Metatron, and now we have now is your time. Put your own needs first. This is not selfishness. It is honoring your own life's path. All right, and I think that's kind of what we're doing. We're walking forward on our path, thinking about the positive changes. Positive changes have to start with us, each one of us. and we make a difference. One positive moment at a time. All right, meditation. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and exhale. Take another deep breath, and exhale again. I want you to imagine the phrase, think the phrase, the affirmation, I manifest love and light into the world each and every day. That I walk through the world experiencing success and abundance, because that is our divine inheritance. That the world is a peaceful place and each day becomes more peaceful. And that the people of planet Earth stand in their power every day. And the people of planet Earth join as one in releasing the shackles of fear and move forward into a place of love. Imagine the planet Earth. Imagine it surrounded with love. Send love to the Earth. Imagine it being absorbed down into the planet. Imagine it going out into the cosmos to all the space brothers and sisters out there. And just imagine this world, a new world. Imagine it coming fuller and fuller into manifestation as the old world of fear and doubt fades away. And as we realize this change that is taking place, this new world that now exists, we realize that the fears and the doubts are just part of the negative patterns, echoes of things which no longer exist. So as we allow them to dissipate, we find that love becomes more prevalent. As we allow love to become more prevalent, the darkness and the doubts and the fears dissipate because they have no room. And just again imagine and think the phrase, I manifest light and love into the world each and every day. And just imagine yourself walking along the path of life, completely in synchronicity with your higher self, understanding why you are here. And as you understand why you are here, and everyone understands why they are here, the journey of this lifetime begins to make even more sense, because we understand the divine purpose for our existence. So just imagine yourself and imagine others all fully aware of who you are, why you are here. And just hold that thought in mind as you go through this weekend and feel what it's like to be in synchronicity with yourself. So let the subconscious mind continue on this journey of positive thoughts. And let's bring our conscious mind back to the present moment. On the count of 3, 3 coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2 coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1 coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, and whole. Take another deep breath. Exhale. And open your eyes. Alright, that's it, my friends. Thank you for being here. The new year is upon us. This is a year for us to make the change in the world that we want to make. And that starts with each and every one of us. Just being positive, sending positivity out into the world. We can do it. I know we can. So that's it. We're just going to do it. Make this world the place we want it to be. I'll be back on Monday with more news and information. Have an awesome weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Peace. I'm out of here.